Okay, I got time for one more, I think, before we take off. Listen to this one, and take note, you guys. I'm getting, it's probably 98% of people writing into me now are saying, go ahead and use my name. And if you don't think that is directly due to all of us making a difference, what is, right? It's time that nobody's scared of the idiots, nobody's scared of the uneducated, and it's just time to be honest and tell the truth and share it with like-minded people, and start supporting and helping people. All right? Well, listen to this one. Great stuff, Steve. I have found your site on YouTube and want to present my story. My encounter isn't anything like you have heard, and it's actually given me thoughts of terror every time I recall it. Hair standing even now. I am prior military, 10 years in a NATO unit that sent us to some of the shitholes around the world so that war would be, well, enough of that. Because of my background, I find that hunting with a rifle is more like shopping, and that a recurve bow actually has some challenges. So I was elk hunting in the Vale Tree Farm near Tenino, Washington, in the early part of November, sometime in the 90s, a couple hours before dark. Totally camouflaged out, paint, tree branches, scent pads on my boots, and a hat. Scent pads on my boots and hat, and was elk piss from the finest cow in town. The whole enchilada, as it were. Teepee creeping around in the woods for about an hour and following a wide glide, as we call an elk trail, I came to a spot in the trail, started up a ravine, and ended up on top of a large, old-growth cedar stump. This gave me a commanding view of the trail for about 50 yards without very little obstruction. I placed my gear behind the stump and crawled up about 5 feet off the ground. This was perfect. An evening breeze was traveling up from the valley below and pushing my scent behind me into the woods. The top of the stump was about 5 feet in diameter, which allowed me to sit, prepare my bow, rangefinder, and such. As I settled in, I could hear the sounds of forest, and anticipation was growing. As the darkness began to fall and the shadows moved in, I kept telling myself, just 2 more minutes. Well, about the time it went from can see to can't see, something was at my neck, sniffing me for all it was worth. Now mind you, I heard this giant snort and then a sneeze from about half a foot from my neck, and the back of my neck was covered in slobber about as thick and as much as you could ever imagine. Wiping the stuff off my neck did some doing. I screamed out this ungodly yell and at the same time turned to see what the hell. Believe me when I say I was terrified, turning to look and seeing absolutely nothing and not a sound other than the echo of my scream. The ground was not chewed up as a retreating elk would have done, and my height from the ground would not be easily reached by any sort of deer. A bear would certainly have made a sound while retreating into the timber. So after gaining some sort of composure and my gear, it was almost pitch black in those now spooky old woods, and I still had my hike out ahead of me. Now, I've been in some situations where I was concerned about my welfare, but this is something way past imagination. As you know by the story, I made it out and home, but I'll never be alright. I told this story to my hunting buddy, who hunted these same woods, and he said he always felt like he was being watched there. Thanks for your time. Use my name if it does you any good. Thanks, Ben Bales. If you want to go up there sometime, look me up. How's that for a shit-eating experience? And believe me, there is no shortage of abnormal what-the-hell stories somewhat similar to this story that this man just shared with all of you, all right? And that's something that everybody's going to have to accept if they are going to be curious about the absolute truth about these frickin' damn things, okay? They're not an undiscovered ape or monkey, it's just the way it is. There's a lot more to these things than a lot of people are admitting. But it's coming. The truth's coming.